the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
Road conditions still are slippery. The driver of this car took out some fence along 21st Avenue South in Fargo tonight, not far from our Valley News Live studio. It looks like whoever was behind the wheel tried to ease around a curve but lost control. And there's word tonight that a North Dakota State Trooper's car was involved in a crash. A call for help was made about 45 minutes ago at mile marker 345, which is in West Fargo along I-94. Now, it doesn't appear that anyone was seriously injured. We do see a fire truck on hand, and a tow truck was there as well when we arrived. Didn't see much of any damage to the squad cars that were there. But these are certainly slippery roads across North Dakota tonight. As you can see on the map, there's a lot of purple on the screen. That means slippery road conditions. The only spot in our viewing area west of Jamestown and to the south of that in Stutsman County, south of I-94. Well, let's get the latest specifics on the snow that's coming down from Robert Hahn. Robert, any let up in that snowfall tonight?
In parts of the area, we do have a let up ongoing, but for much of the region, we're going to continue with periods of snow as we head into the wee hours of a Thursday morning. A live look outside on the Coronado.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. Snow has returned after a lull for a while here in Fargo. There's one of the salt trucks making his way down I-94, and current temperatures, they're cold. 15, feels more like 3, winds out of the northeast at 9, a degree colder over in Moorhead at 14. Temperatures elsewhere off towards the north, single digits common up there, 3 in Langdon, 4 in Devils Lake, 5 in Cavalier, 14 in Detroit Lakes, 10 over in the Wadena area. Winds continue to be generally light. Good news considering all the snow that we've had, generally around 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the east and in northeast, and that's creating some rather cold wind chills. Cold as 10 below in Devils Lake, -9 Langdon, -9 in the Valley City area. A lot of cloud cover out there. Underneath those clouds, we have the snow, and this band has been persistent for many hours in between Fargo and Grand Forks. More snow stretches all the way from I-94 off towards the south, from Fargo off towards Bismarck, and even points off towards the west. A closer look at that, again, around the Mayville area, just south of the Crookston area, over towards the Ada Borup area, just south of Fosston, a persistent band there, and more snow making its way back into the Fargo-Moorhead area. We're going to see periods of snow, as mentioned, into the wee hours of the morning. That snow stretches all the way into the western portions of the Great Lakes and out into the southwestern portions of North Dakota. More snow off towards the west and parts of the Rockies, off towards the east. Some showers and thunderstorms making their way through the southeastern United States. For us, as we head through the overnight hours, we'll continue to see periods of snow. Cold temperatures across the north, dipping below 0 for overnight lows. Tomorrow, maybe a few flakes into the morning, but generally decreasing clouds. We're not going to warm up despite seeing some sunshine. Highs in the single digits and teens across the region. Wind chills below 0 throughout the day, with winds around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Some stronger gusts tomorrow evening, dipping back below 0 across the north. A bit of a change on our warning graphic. Winter storm warning. So part of the winter weather advisory upgraded to a winter storm warning. 6 to 9 inches possible in this area where that persistent band has been. Elsewhere, 2 to 6 inches will be common in the winter weather advisory areas. As we head from Christmas on into next week, Arctic air, dangerously cold air, makes its way on into the region. Here in Fargo, maybe an isolated flurry in the morning, 5. By lunchtime, 6. So not much warmer after topping out around 8. Dipping back down to 6 by tomorrow evening. Picture of the day, it's a pretty good one. It's a great one. Frosty morning in Gully. Thanks so much to Tammy for sending that in. Going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast tomorrow. Maybe some morning flakes. A few more snow showers. Could be some light accumulations with that on a Friday. Our break in the action Saturday. More snow showers Sunday. Then the bitter cold air. A lot of negative numbers there. Dangerously cold air. Make sure you have the emergency kit in your car before you hit the road.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks.
You got it.
Blowing snow and icy roads played a role in a crash involving 2 semis today. One person had to be taken to the hospital. The Highway Patrol says it happened at mid-morning on Highway 46 in the Kindred area. A semi driven by 71-year-old Norris Smedshammer of Verona, North Dakota, was going east following another semi driven by 29-year-old Jonathan Schmidt of Kindred when Schmidt slowed down to make a right turn. That's when Smedshammer hit the metal beams on Schmidt's truck. Smedshammer lost control of the semi, crossed the highway, and went into the ditch. He was briefly trapped in the semi for a time. Smedshammer was taken to the hospital with what were described as non-life-threatening injuries. He was ticketed for following too close. Republicans are rejoicing this evening after Congress approved a $1.5 trillion tax reform bill. It's the biggest overhaul of the tax system since 1986. CBS's Weijia Zhang is at the White House with the story.
We are making America great again. You haven't heard that, have you?
President Trump invited congressional Republicans to the White House to celebrate the passage of their tax overhaul bill.
It was a lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun when you win. If you work hard and lose, that's not acceptable.
Mr. Trump thanked GOP leaders for steering the bill into law. They returned the praise.
Something this big, something this generational, something this profound could not have been done without exquisite presidential leadership.
Majority Leader Mitch McConnell gave the president a Louisville Slugger as a gift. The Kentucky senator said it symbolized how Mr. Trump went to bat for the middle class. The plan reduces the corporate tax rate from 35% to 21%. It doubles the standard deduction for individuals and families and also doubles the child tax credit. The measure made it through both the House and Senate without the support of a single Democrat.
I guess if one were a billionaire like President Trump or a wealthy campaign contributor, you do have a whole lot to celebrate.
There are only two places where America's popping champagne: the White House and the corporate boardrooms.
It's unclear when President Trump will actually sign the bill into law. The White House says he may wait until the start of the new year in order to delay automatic cuts to Medicare and other popular programs. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, the White House.
Congress didn't have much time to celebrate. The House is now scrambling to reach a funding agreement by Friday to avert a government shutdown. One of the biggest questions about the new tax reform bill is how it will change the tax filing process. The new tax reform is supposed to uncomplicate doing taxes. Even President Trump says it should be so simple you can do it on a napkin. Accountants say they will still be needed, but tax returns will be easier to fill out on your own. A couple of categories on your W-2s will be flipped around in Trump's tax bill.
In North Dakota, about 80% of people don't itemize. So for those people, it will probably have a moderately beneficial effect. The standard deduction doubles under the proposed bill, but we lose the any personal exemptions.
This won't go into effect until the end of next year, so this filing period will not include these changes. A Breckenridge, Minnesota man will spend 20 years in prison for attempted murder. Jan Michael Wangstead was sentenced today following his conviction earlier this month. He's already locked up after pleading guilty to other charges. An additional 5 years was tacked on for illegal possession of a firearm. Wangstead must also pay nearly $500,000 in restitution. All of this stems from a standoff at a West Fargo motel in March of last year, where he pulled a gun and shot at police officers. After 4 hours, he eventually surrendered. U.S. Senator from Minnesota Al Franken has announced the date of his resignation. A spokesperson for the office of Franken said that the resignation will take place on January 2nd. Also, the Senate designate and former Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Tina Smith, will be sworn in the following day. Franken's resignation comes after multiple women came forward with allegations of sexual misconduct, ranging from forcibly kissing women to inappropriate touching while posing for photos with women. Remember to like Valley News Live on Facebook. You can follow the latest news, weather, and breaking news updates anytime on your feed. Just search Valley News Live, like our page, and you'll stay informed throughout the entire day. The NDSU Bison are headed back to Frisco, Texas for the national championship, and Valley News Live will once again be right there with them. We've got full team coverage planned for you with the Valley News Live sports team and the whole Bison football pregame crew bringing us live coverage from Frisco, Texas. We'll also be bringing you live coverage of the Proceed Pep Fest Friday night starting at 7 p.m. That leads us to game day on January 6th. The Farmers Union Insurance Bison football pregame show will start at 9:30 in the morning, taking you all the way up to the 11 a.m. kickoff between the NDSU Bison and James Madison at Toyota Stadium for the FCS Championship. And there's a CW giveaway we're excited to announce tonight. It's a VNL VIP Fargo Forest Suite night on December 30th. All you have to do to register to win is head to valleynewslive.com or ndtv.tv. Click on the Contest tab. 2 winners will get the chance to hang out with the Valley News Live crew while also enjoying some great hockey. The deadline to register is December 21st at noon. They're a beautiful symbol of the season, but Christmas trees could be putting your most vulnerable family members at risk. Valley News Live's Veronica Marshall reports on keeping a lookout for Christmas tree syndrome and how to keep your family safe this holiday season.
This is my 5th year selling Christmas trees. But yeah, it's pretty fun. The Christmas tree is the iconic Christmas symbol.
When you bring a Christmas tree into your home, you're also bringing in a little bit of the Christmas spirit. But that's not all. And in this case, what you don't know and can't see could hurt you.
There's a peak mold season in the fall, and so some of those mold spores are still on the Christmas trees. And so they come to your house and they kind of blossom again.
New dangers can also develop the longer the tree is in your home.
First week, the tree's gonna absorb lots of water and you're gonna be constantly refreshing it, but as the longer it sits in there, it's gonna slow down. And the water's be sitting in there longer and longer, and so bacteria will start to grow.
Mold, dust, and sometimes even the tree itself can trigger an allergic reaction.
Sometimes in a toddler, if they've developed sensitivities to mold, that could be a major problem for them. The elderly who maybe already have impaired lung function, who would be more susceptible to pneumonia.
Matheson also says people with compromised immune systems are also at risk. Symptoms include itchy or watery eyes, a runny nose, or a sore throat. But if the sight and smell of a freshly cut Christmas tree is part of your family's tradition, there are steps you can take to make the season safe for everyone.
Some places where you get your Christmas trees have like a little shaker so they can shake off some of the dead needles and some of the dust that might be on. Another trick that is sometimes a challenge in our North Country region would be to actually wash off your Christmas tree. Take the hose and spray it off.
Places where you buy your tree may also offer solutions for treating standing water.
A tree preservative will have an acid in there, preventing bacteria growth.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Another option, of course, is to choose an artificial tree, but doctors warn that dust can collect on those branches as well. So consider wiping the tree down before it goes up.